Hey, Bears fans. We're back with some exciting news and exclusive updates on our Chicago Bears. It's been a great season so far, and there's no better time to dive into what's going on with the team. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss any of our daily content about the Bears. If you're as excited about the team as we are, stick with us. We're just getting started. Now, Caleb Williams has caught my attention with something he said after the Bears' recent victory over the Browns. This is a team that is riding high on confidence right now, and you can see it in how they've been playing. Caleb himself seems to feel like this team is ready for anything. And honestly, after watching how they've handled themselves so far this season, I think he's right to feel that way. He said it himself. I feel like we're ready for just about anything. We're going to go out there and fight. I do know that. And I like our chances. Us versus anybody. It sounds like a simple statement, but there's a lot packed into it. For one, the belief is there, and that's the most important thing. The coaches, the players, the whole team, they all believe in themselves. And that's powerful, especially when you look at how they've been playing. As someone on the outside looking in, I truly believe that the Bears have the ability to compete with anyone in the league. There isn't a single team in the NFL that I think they don't have a shot against. And I'm not just talking about the weaker teams either. I mean, even against the best in a one-game scenario, the Bears have a legitimate chance. Sure, in a best-of-7 series, you might favor other teams, but in a one-off game, the Bears are as dangerous as anyone. Let's talk about the NFC playoff picture for a minute. There's not a single team in the conference that's completely flawless. Take the Rams, for example. They're probably the most complete team on paper, with elite coaching, an elite quarterback, and a top-tier roster. But they've got their weaknesses, too. Davante Adams is banged up, and while he's likely to return for the playoffs, the Rams' secondary is vulnerable. And Matt Stafford, while having an overall solid season, can have games where turnovers pile up quickly, like we saw against Carolina. The Rams might be the toughest matchup right now, but they're far from invincible. Then there's the Eagles. They might look perfect on paper, but remember when the Bears went into Philadelphia and completely dominated them? That game wasn't even close. And it wasn't just a fluke. The Bears have shown that they can hang with and beat some of the top teams in the league. Look at the Seahawks, for example. They've had a solid season, but do you really trust Sam Darnold in a playoff game? That's still an unknown. The 49ers have been struggling with injuries, and their schedule hasn't been all that tough. We'll see how they handle the Bears when they meet in a couple of weeks. The Packers? Well, they've just lost their best player in Micah Parsons, and while they're still a solid team, the Bears have proven they can compete with anyone. As for the NFC South, well, it doesn't matter who comes out of that division. They're not looking as dangerous as they did earlier in the season. It's clear that the NFC is stacked with talent, but there's not a single team in this conference that's unbeatable. That's what gives the Bears a real shot. They've already taken down some of the league's top contenders, and with the right mindset, they could do it again. Looking ahead to the final stretch of the season, the Bears have some massive opportunities to prove their worth. The rematch with the Packers is a big one. If the Bears win, they'll be in great position to clinch the division. A win on Sunday would put them a game and a half ahead of Green Bay, with just 2 weeks left in the regular season, and it would give them a cushion over Detroit as well. If the Bears beat Green Bay, their magic number to win the NFC North is down to just 1. That would mean they need to win one more game out of the final 2 to secure the division title. After that, it's a tough stretch with matchups against the 49ers and the Lions. But if the Bears can keep playing like they have, they could end up in a really strong position heading into the playoffs. And think about this. Even if they don't win the division, they still have a shot at one of the top seeds in the NFC. If they can clinch at least the 2nd seed, they'll have home field advantage for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. That's huge, especially with the kind of football the Bears like to play. We all know how Soldier Field can be in January. The cold, the wind, the snow. It's a perfect environment for a physical team like the Bears. They're built to play in those conditions. The offensive line is tough, and they got a solid run game with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. But it's not just about the running game. Caleb Williams' arm is built for bad weather, too. We've seen him throw darts through gusty winds and freezing temperatures, and he can do it with precision. That's the kind of quarterback you need when the weather turns ugly. On top of that, The Bears' defense has been creating takeaways like nobody's business. Sure, they give up some yards and points, but when you're forcing turnovers at the rate they are, leading the NFL with 30 takeaways and 21 receptions, you're putting your offense in a great position to score. And in the playoffs, turnovers could be the difference between winning and losing. I also trust this coaching staff. Yes, Ben Johnson is in his first year as head coach, but he's been exceptional as a play caller and as a situational coach. Dennis Allen, despite the injuries and limitations up front, has done a great job adapting to what's been thrown his way. These guys have earned our trust, and while the playoffs are uncharted territory for them, they've got the tools to succeed. So, as we look toward the postseason, the Bears have the confidence, the talent, and the mindset to make a deep run. They've shown they can beat top-tier teams, they've got the weather on their side, and their defense is a game changer. There's still a lot to prove, but I genuinely believe this team has what it takes to make some noise in the playoffs. As we continue breaking down the Bears season, it's impossible not to highlight how much balance this team has found over the course of the year. They've had games where the offense has struggled, but the defense has stepped up and carried them. Conversely, when the defense has faced challenges, the offense has found ways to respond and keep the team in the game. That balance is exactly what you want heading into the playoffs, because it means they're not reliant on just one unit to win. The Bears are demonstrating that they can adapt to different situations, and that's a hallmark of teams that go deep in the postseason. Caleb Williams has been at the center of this, not just because of his ability to make big throws, but because he's showing leadership that elevates everyone around him. When a quarterback instills confidence in the locker room, it spreads to the defense, the special teams, and even the coaching staff. And that's exactly what we've seen this year with Caleb and the Bears. Another thing that stands out is the physicality of this team. When you watch them play, especially in the trenches, there's a sense that they enjoy the battle at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line has grown significantly over the season, giving Caleb time to make decisions and also opening lanes for Swift and Monangai to run. The defense, meanwhile, has been relentless in pressuring quarterbacks, disrupting timing, and creating those turnovers that can completely swing a game. The Bears are a team built for those tough, hard-fought matchups, the kind of games where every yard matters and every decision on the field has consequences. That kind of resilience is difficult to teach, and this team has developed it over the course of the season. Looking at the schedule down the stretch, the Bears have a real chance to prove themselves against teams that have been playoff contenders or have historically been strong. Facing Green Bay again will be a test of mental toughness as much as physical ability. They went toe-to-toe with them at Lambeau Field earlier in the season, and if they can come away with a win this time, it's going to send a loud message to the entire NFC that this team is not to be underestimated. After that, go to San Francisco will be another challenge, but it's the type of matchup that the Bears are capable of handling if they stick to their game plan and stay disciplined. The Lions will wrap up the regular season, and even though they haven't been at their peak this year, they're still a playoff-caliber squad. These final 3 games are not just about wins and losses. They're about momentum, confidence, and proving that the Bears belong in the postseason conversation. One of the most interesting things about this team is how they've adapted to different styles of play across the league. They've faced high-flying offenses, tough, physical teams, and even squads that try to control the clock and wear down opponents. Each time, the Bears have found ways to compete, which shows a level of versatility that is essential for playoff success. They're not a one-dimensional team that can only win a certain way. Whether it's controlling the clock with a strong running game, striking quickly through the air, or leaning on a defense that can create turnovers, the Bears have options. That variety makes them unpredictable and dangerous because opponents can't simply game plan for one aspect of their team. It forces other teams to prepare for multiple scenarios, and that can be an advantage in high-stakes games. The coaching staff deserves recognition here as well. Ben Johnson has been willing to make adjustments week to week, finding the right plays at the right times, and keeping the offense versatile. Dennis Allen, despite challenges with injuries and personnel limitations, has maintained a strong defensive presence, finding ways to exploit weaknesses in opponents while managing the risks in his own lineup. That kind of adaptability and strategic thinking is what can make the difference between an early playoff exit and a deep postseason run. These coaches have earned the trust of their players, and that trust shows up on the field in critical moments. The Bears aren't just playing hard, they're playing smart, and that combination is incredibly valuable. Home field advantage is another key factor that shouldn't be overlooked. Playing at Soldier Field in January, in potentially snowy, windy conditions, is a real asset for the Bears. They thrive in environments where the elements become a factor, especially when other teams are used to playing in milder conditions. The physical style of play that this team has adopted fits perfectly with those scenarios. Caleb Williams can throw in adverse weather, Swift and Monangai can grind out yards on the ground, and the defense can take advantage of mistakes that come from challenging conditions. It's a tangible edge that could become even more significant as the postseason progresses. The Bears' ability to create turnovers has been one of their standout traits this season, and it could be a decisive factor in the playoffs. Leading the league with 30 takeaways and 21 interceptions, the Bears' defense has a knack for creating short fields and giving the offense opportunities to score. In high-stakes games, those turnovers often decide outcomes, and the Bears' proficiency in this area is one of the reasons they're being talked about as legitimate playoff contenders. It's not just about stopping points, it's about creating opportunities and controlling momentum. Teams that can consistently win the turnover battle put themselves in the best position to win, and the Bears have proven they could do exactly that. Finally, the confidence in this team cannot be overstated. Caleb Williams, the coaching staff, and the players all share a belief in their abilities, and that belief is contagious. Confidence is not just about feeling good. It's about performing under pressure and believing that you can succeed against the toughest opponents. The Bears have shown time and again that they can rise to the occasion, whether it's against a top team like Philadelphia, a tough divisional rival like Green Bay, or in hostile environments on the road. That belief, combined with their talent, coaching, and preparation, makes them a team capable of making some noise in the postseason. It doesn't guarantee a Super Bowl run, but it certainly sets the stage for a team that can compete with anyone on any given Sunday. This is the kind of momentum and mindset that could define a season and set up an exciting playoff run for the Chicago Bears. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Shockwaves are rippling through Chicago after Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, unleashed a scathing critique of the Bears in what many are calling one of the most brutal post-game comments in recent memory. While Stefanski is known for his usually measured tone, insiders suggest that something about this particular matchup pushed him to a level of candor that fans of the Windy City weren't prepared for. The remarks, which some describe as mercilessly honest, have ignited a storm on social media, with Bears supporters demanding answers and questioning the leadership within their own locker room. According to sources close to the Browns sideline, Stefanski's frustration stemmed not just from the on-field performance, but from what he perceives as a lack of discipline and execution on key plays. While he stopped short of naming names, the implication was clear. Chicago's roster, in his eyes, has serious deficiencies that make competing at the top level a significant challenge. He didn't hold back at all, says one insider, speaking under the condition of anonymity. The players were visibly shocked. It wasn't just a coach venting after a game. It felt like he was sending a message to the entire franchise. Chicago fans, predictably, have taken to social media in droves. Heated debates are breaking out in forums and comment sections, with longtime supporters clashing with skeptics who argue Stefanski's comments might actually hold a kernel of truth. Pundits are already speculating that the fallout could ripple beyond just fan outrage, potentially influencing trades, front office decisions, and even coaching strategies in the weeks ahead. Some whisper that Stefanski's candidness could spark a series of internal changes within the Bears, as the organization scrambles to defend its reputation while reassessing its path forward. While it's still unclear how long the backlash will last, one thing is certain. Stefanski's words have struck a nerve. In a city as passionate about football as Chicago, a remark like this is more than just commentary. It's a challenge, a provocation, and perhaps a warning that the spotlight isn't just on the players, but on the entire franchise. The question now remains whether the Bears can respond effectively, or if this episode will linger as a sore point for fans and players alike. Either way, Stefanski has managed to turn what was supposed to be a routine post-game interview into a story that will dominate headlines and locker room conversations for some time to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.